Hello, class. This is Mr. Eggleston, and this is the CYU for lesson 8.5. We saw in the lesson how to write exponential functions, given terms, how to find for the R, what we're multiplying by each time. So, for example, when they give you this table and they ask you to complete the table and write an equation, you have to figure out what's going on. We know that the couple ways of looking at this, we start here at 2. We go once, we multiply by some number R. We multiply by R again, and we get to 18. So 2 times R squared this is one way, by the way. So 2 times R squared would equal 18. R squared equals 9, 9, not 8. And then R would equal 3. So you figure out what R is, and you know that this has to be 6, because, we go from 0 to 1, we have to take the 2 and multiply by 3. The other way of thinking of it, and this might be easier for some, is since we multiply going to the right, we multiply by 3. If we go to the left, we have to divide by a number. And notice we go from 2 to 2/3, so that means R must be 3. That's another way of thinking of it. So to go to the next one, we have to divide by 3 again, which means if you want to take 2/3, divided by 3 is 2/3 times 1/3. You flip right, multiply, and it's 2/9. And you just wrote out the table. Okay? I'm just erasing this because it's kind of messy. All right? So that's kind of like how you do it. Like I said, you could either go 2 times R, which is R squared, equals 18, and then solve for R by dividing by 2 and square rooting, or knowing that we're dividing by R each time. So we went from 2 to 2/3, so R must be 3 because it was 2 and then we divided by 3. And that's another way of thinking of it. Okay. Write an equation for the exponential function now. Well, they do give us the 0 term. So the equation for the exponential function, f of x, would be a times b to the x, where this is a, and b equals r equals 3. So f of x equals 2 times 3 to the x. And that's the equation. A geometric sequence has a common ratio of 1.5. That's B or R. It depends on which way you want to look at it. It's the base. It's what we're multiplying by each time. And the value of the fourth term is 24. Find the seventh term. So what I do is I go, okay, so this is the fourth, and that's 24. Then this is the fifth. This is the sixth. And this is the seventh. And each time we go, we have to multiply by the B or the R. I guess I'm going between the two letters, so let's make that R. All right? So, and that's got to equal the fourth term of 24. The seventh term. Okay. So since R is 1.5, and so that's 24 times R to the third, that is going to be 24 times 1.5 to the third power, which works out to be 81. Okay. And the next one is an exponential function of the form y equals a times b to the x is shown to the right. Find the value of a and b. So we got two values. We got initially The first value is 15. Then we got the second and the third, and that's 375. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me write better. And that's got to equal 375. So we take 15 and multiply it by r and r. So we got 15 times r squared equals 375. Divide by 15, you get r squared. I believe 375 divided by 15 is 25. So r is the square root of 25. Well, let me write that. Is the square root of 25, which is 5. So now we have r, which is the base. So we have b. Now, how do we figure out what a is? Well, since this is the first term right here, and each time we move over, we multiply by 5, right? To the right, we can divide by 5 going to the left. So a would simply be 15 divided by 5, which is 3. So now we have a and b, and we can write our equation. Y equals 3 times 5 to the x. And there you go. So now if you wanted the second term, you put x equals 2, and that's 3 times 25 is 75. So we know right here at 2, this number here is 75. Okay? Now, this is an interesting question because they say the second term in a sequence, it looks like they're dropping the article A. The second term in a sequence is 48, and the fifth term is 6. So we got the second, and we got 3, 4, 5, and after the fifth equals 6. And they said find the third term if the sequence is arithmetic. So what you got to figure is if you're out here at 48, and then you're adding d each time, it'll be 48 plus 3d will equal 6. All right? This is arithmetic. That's what they said. It's a line. So we're adding the same number, in which case it's d. Okay, so 6 minus 48, you got 3d equals negative 42. Divided by 3, d equals negative 42 divided by 3, which is equal to negative 14. So since d is negative 14, and they gave us the second term of 48, the third term would just be the 48 plus the negative 14, which is 34. And that's the third term if it is arithmetic. Now find the third term if the sequence is geometric. Again, they gave you the second term of 48, then the third and the fourth and the fifth, and that's got to equal 6. So 48 times r times r times r equals 6. So that's 48 times r to the third equals 6. R to the third equals 6 over 48, which equals 1/8. And then you have to remember what we were studying about in unit, I think it was 6, about if you have r cubed equals 1/8. To get rid of the cube on the r, we can take the cube root of both sides. So that would be r equals the cube root of 1/8, which is 1/2, because 8 is 2 to the third. So r is 1/2. So they want you to, that's not what they're asking you for. We just had to find r. We have r, we take the 48, which is the second term, and we multiply it by 1/2, and that gives us 24 as the third term. And that's how you would do it. All right? I hope that made sense. If not, come see me, and have a wonderful evening.